Normally I would either do an intro or just blabber into the camera for my art video. But today I'm not going to do that. Today I wanted to do something different with my video. Today I want to talk about a story about tragedy, grief, childhood trauma, and human error. A story that is told through training videos, found footage, gameplay videos, and reenactments of past events. A story about Bond's Burgers. The first tape started off as an introduction to working at Bond's Burgers. The year is 1974. A brand new restaurant is about to open to the public, and things are getting ready for the grand opening. The tape was created by Summer Fun Tech and Funny Smile Corporation. The tape introduces us to the showstoppers, Bond, Shaw, Buzu, and Banny. There's also another character that goes by the name of Billy, but we don't talk about Billy. We also get to see what tasks we're supposed to do as caretakers, like cleaning and maintaining the animatronics. We're also introduced to the founders of BSI, Jack Walten and Felix Kranken. And that's it. That's everything there is. The new restaurant coming into town, Jack and Felix have a very successful
and then you start feeling happy, you finally start to remember. That's all there. They will be back for you soon. Sophie.
Things aren't as they seem to appear. So, soon events unfold that led to the self-disappearance and death of the informational screen talking about the K9 facility and the place that had been there since the closure of the restaurant. The next tape is an animation created by Sunlight Animation in 1979. Which is known as the Little Bond Neighborhood. The story is written by a woman named Sarah Evelyn, and the episode is known as Bond's Super Sleepover. And the episode starts with Bond being excited with his friends to come over to a major sleepover. All of his friends, Shaw, Buzu, and Billy. Wait, who? Shaw, Buzu, and... The group watched the video, but what we see is text on the screen stating, "Let me out of here." Also, we do get to see some pills with someone named Sophie, but we don't know who she is yet. Once the night dropped, they all headed off to bed, but something awoken the Bond in the middle of the night. He gets up to investigate the noise, but on the TV screen, it's only a missing poster for Jack Walten, who's been missing since June 11, 1974. Several weeks before the opening of the restaurant itself. Although the mystery of Jack's disappearance is still shrouded in mystery, some say Jack resigned within the Bond animatronic, while others believe Jack just up and disappeared while looking for something or someone. But I believe Jack was murdered by his co-founder and friend Felix Kranken, who killed Jack after Jack discovered something he wasn't supposed to. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Bond soon noticed a lighter on the ground. He picks it up, trying to get it to work when a woman standing in the middle of the dark, with Bond standing right behind her. On her hat reads Sophie. There's that name again. The next scene that happened when we transitioned to a found footage from 1982, from the facility caretaker named Brian Stells. Brian was tasked to take care of the K9 facility. The place hasn't been working since 78 or 79, but Brian had a job to do. When he entered the facility, he noticed some photos on the wall. One showing Felix Kranken, another showing two kids, and the last one showing a bunch of people in one place, two of them being Jack and Felix. Brian mentioned how the place smelled before working. On Bond, but something isn't right here. As Brian is working, Bond started acting up again, causing Brian to run away from the animatronic.
Yeah, left arm. The left arm.
What was that thing?
The video ends with the aftermath of what happened to Brian, which he states, "I can't feel anything. He thought I was her." Brian Stell was killed by Bond after he was mistaken for Sophie. Why was he mistaken for Sophie? Who is she? And why is she so important to Bond? Guess we'll have to continue. The next video is called The Relocate Project, which Felix, now head of BSI, is trying to reopen the closed Bond Burgers restaurant, the year of 1982, and the introduction tape of the instruction is instructing new employees to the new restaurant, with the tape calling Felix a great person who not only had a giant brain, but also a giant heart. Next tape is a new feature introducing to the animatronic. This time they're using Banny for the test. Things seem to be going well when...
tries to find a way out of the cage, but it's unsuccessful. The rabbit keeps trying to find a way out, or at least catch the owner's attention. The mighty rabbit must get out. The mighty rabbit needs to 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 get out. The rabbit is starving. 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 Is starving. Is starving. Is starving. Is starving. Is starving.
I'm hungry! The next person to disappear is a woman named Susan Wooding. She was one of the technicians working on the animatronics. In fact, she basically built the animatronic. But sadly, she won't get to see the next morning. June 30th, 1974, the opening of the restaurant. Susan stayed to help the employees to close the restaurant down after a huge, successful opening. After recording her log for the company, something strange happened. Susan is shoved into the van animatronic after Bond killed her, and she was never seen again. The next tape is an introduction to the canine facility, where she'll give her the tour of the place, but also this shadowy person.
It's had a lovely you of fish one at me, feel better fish dead now wasn't not through my you was missing me for Irish baby when it's not developed with any body on your right now cover the door you're in for.
Welcome to the basement. Let's see it.
Rosemary would go to the restaurant every night hoping that his beloved husband would reappear after being missing for weeks, but no response until one day she heard a voice saying, "I know where she is, Rosie," coming from the backstage.
Rosemary Walten, the loving wife of, kept going back to the restaurant every day hoping to find her husband. This was a typical day for Rosemary. She never stopped looking for Jack. Then she heard a voice from the backstage telling her they knew where her husband was, desperate to find him and bring him home. Rosemary followed, but by the time the lady entered the backstage that the voice told her to, Missy's husband wasn't there. Instead, she found a rabbit.
Rose broken will fix you. You will beautiful. You will beautiful. You will beautiful.
When she woke up, she was look beautiful. But on the inside,
Rosemary's death is the most tragic one in my opinion. She's desperately looking for her husband, being an overly protective mother of her children. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Rosemary Walten went missing on July 19th, 1974. Von Berger's doors officially closed on the 20th of July, making it a month since the place was open. The last tape is found footage of 3 technicians going to the canine facility to repair the animatronics. Ashley, Hillary, and Kevin, with a technician to go to the canine. They spent 3 days repairing the robot, but given the fact that they only had 3 days, no wonder they didn't have the time to repair the robot. And then Ashley went to the back room, looking around for anything to fit the project. She found a spare part, a character she had never seen before, a doll on the wall. She also found Billy, which lead her to a cassette tape to listen to what is on it.
Jack, Susan, Charles, Rosemary, Sophie.
Before the ending of the tape, there is text that appeared on screen for a brief moment. They left the next day. They thought Ashley had left early, but she was on the back doors, screaming as much as she could, but no one heard the scream. The following day, the caretaker would complain about an awful smell coming from the back doors. The company decided to shut down the facility until a new advice. The relocate project was unsuccessful. Ashley is still there, but she's not screaming anymore. She saw something she wasn't supposed to see, and now she's beautiful. And it just repeats again and again. So why am I telling you this? A story about a restaurant closing its doors because 4 people went missing? Well, there's a deeper story to that. A story that revolves around one character. A character that Bond really wants to get his hands on.
You must be so confused about what you saw. Don't be scared, my little bunny. Answers will be given eventually, but don't try to solve this puzzle only with the pieces you have so far. This is only the beginning. For I'm going to tell you a story of broken people, beautiful people. He is so sorry about what he did to them, but there's nothing he can do. Remember that. Safety and pills, Sophie. 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 Safety and
Can't you see? I made them beautiful. I don't know how. I didn't even need to. But I did. They tried to talk to us. We're analog. They will be heard. This is their cry for help. Besides, they want us to know what happened that year. But we must be patient. Look, they are filled with life. They dance to the music. They laugh and sing along. They're perfect. They are beautiful. They will see you soon, Sophie. Now, Sophie's name has been mentioned before in the video. One, when we see pills bottle with the name Sophie on it, now that we know that the pills belong to Sophie Walten. Sophie was also mentioned in the backward text from the first episode as well. Sophie Walten is established to be our main character, a character that will be the main focus of the next episode. But before we start talking about the next episode, I would like to talk about my link tree. My link tree is linked to all of my social media and to my YouTube channel. If you want to check it out, it's in the description below or my YouTube channel banner. Check them all out, and let's get back to the video. Bunny Farm, a game that was supposed to be released to the public, but never got an official release. The beta game was sent out to a few places, and one of them was a hotel where Sophie and Walten and her girlfriend Jenny Levison were staying. And the video showcased the women playing the game together. In the video showcased the women playing the game together as Jenny was showing Sophie how to play the game. While the cutscene played as the showstoppers are trying to figure out the annual fruit festival, we could see an image of Jack Walten in the background. We could also see two red figures and a dark figure in the background of the cutscene. As Jenny is showing Sophie how to play the game, Jenny mentioned BSI, a company that Sophie should know of, but doesn't remember it. In fact, she doesn't remember a lot from her childhood to her teen years. Probably has something to do with the pill she's taking. They also start talking about Brian Stell from the very first episode, and Ashley from the second episode. As Sophie was exploring the level, we could see her clicking on a statue for a character by the name of Bobby, as it reads the following. Bobby the Hippo was the original owner of the town. He had two sons, Pete the Hippo and Johnny the Hippo. Bobby made the promise of creating the best quality barn in the world. Rest in peace, Bobby. Older year of the year. Probably won't be important later on. When Sophie started playing Billy level, Jenny had to leave Sophie to work on an essay, leaving her to play the game on her own. Sophie started playing the Billy level, and she quickly realized something isn't right with the level. The game glitching on Sophie, and even at one point showed us the real Billy. Eventually, Sophie finds her way to a minigame with a freaky looking background and had to play tic-tac-toe. Sophie won the minigame and received a present. It showed
what's that? Jenny? What the hell? Restart the level. Christ. Never mind.
Sophie stopped playing the game for the day after seeing that gray rabbit, and came back the next day to play the rest of the game. Sophie and Jenny started talking about the night before, and Jenny questioned if the game is haunted or not. Soon, Jenny leaves Sophie once again for Sophie to play the game on her own. When she tried to get back, the game took her to a black screen of death, with Bond in the background, with the text stating this: there's a high chance bunnyfarm.ppx file data had been corrupted or information had been altered or replaced by a third party. We recommend you unplugging the machine immediately. Opening the file may lead to unknown glitches and errors in the level. If you do want to continue, however, we warn you that the machine could suffer major changes, and at worst case, a complete shutdown, deleting all valuable information in it. Do you still wish to continue? Sophie is understandably upset about this, but she continued the game. As she explored the map and looked through the tips area, she clicked on the statue again, but this time, it says a different text. He promised to take care of the two kids during that day. He told the parents everything was okay. It's sad that we can't really remember you, Sophie, but soon we'll be together forever and ever. Rest in peace, the two lovely red children. May 5th, 1962 to May 2nd, 1974, and August 22nd, 1965 to May 2nd, 1974. Sophie then finds her way to the Banny level, where Banny, as the idiot she is, opened up the pig's pen and let all the pigs out. Meaning we have to go get them all back! Yay! Thank you, Banny! But just as we planned to get the pigs back, we could see a man with a straw hat putting up a missing poster for Jack Walton. We could also see Susan peeking from behind the house in one of the scenes. One puzzle solved later, Sophie finds herself in a 3-room place with a shadowy person in the room, which kicks Sophie back out of with the 2 hippo kids and Manny, who stopped moving for some reason. After collecting the red key and solving another puzzle, and questioning why these things were happening in the first place, we get to hear an audio log from Susan Wooding from June 30th, 1974.
BSI Technical Support Audio Log Number 3, June 30th, 1974. Jeremy's birthday party finished an hour ago. I decided to stay and help the employees clean the place. This week has been strange, especially because of the opening. I find it weird that they opened the place even though Mr. Walton disappeared a few weeks ago. I hope he's doing alright. Rosemary came in today and asked if we'd seen him around. I'm pretty worried about it. Felix seems very concerned and worried too. Anyway, the birthday party, yes. Everything went according to plan. This was the first birthday party in the restaurant, and I feel it turned out pretty well. I noticed a few irregularities in the stage and in the audio animatronics. As the engineer and the person who basically built the animatronics to begin with, it was easier to notice these, especially in Bonn. Something felt off. The limbs weren't moving properly. They looked stiff and odd, mainly in his right arm. It took a few more minutes to take him to the backstage, just to make sure everything's okay. I'm the only one left. Chris left some hours ago, and Felix didn't even show up. I'll leave and close the restaurant when I'm finished. I'm sure it's not going to take long.
To be honest, the scene haunt me to this very day, and that's not a joke. The scene disturbed me when I first watched it, to the point that my brain couldn't tell what I was looking at until my second watch through, that I realized I was looking at a corpse. Poor Susan. Her death was the most horrible out of all the other characters. While the other characters' deaths were horrible, at least they died of quick death. Well, we don't know about another character, but we do know about Rosemary. Susan, on the other hand, died of starvation, which is horrible.
But that was very confusing and scary.
Sophie, did we see the same clip? After questioning her own mental state, Sophie goes back to the tip menu and, as she tried to get out of it, found herself reading a journal entry from Linda Thompson, used to be known as Linda Kranken. The first one read as follows. October 30th, 1964. Felix has been acting very weird lately. He's been drinking more than usual. I'm very worried about him. I don't know what to do. He came home at 4 a.m. He was crying and he seemed very unstable and stressed. I don't know what to do. August 23rd, 1965. I know I haven't talked to you as much as I used to. This month has been so crazy. I moved in with Felix last week. He was very happy about it. Yesterday, Jack and Rose had their third child, a little girl. Her name is Molly. Molly Walten. Jack and Felix have been pitching up the restaurant idea with a company that is interested in the project, the name Cyber Fun Tech. December 26, 1970. Christmas was nice. They built a doll, a gray rabbit for Ed and Molly. Molly named it Rocket. Felix drank a lot yesterday. This has been a problem for a while. He's a good person, but he doesn't want to address it. It's getting worse and worse, but he doesn't notice. He feels bad about it, but doesn't try to change. January 3rd, 1973. It's getting worse. He's so submerged with the project that he doesn't realize how much damage he's doing to himself, how much damage he's doing to me. He keeps going places only to drink. Sometimes he even stays at the warehouse for the sole purpose of drinking. He doesn't listen. He never listens. I don't know what to do. May 2nd, 1974. Dear Felix, by the time you're reading this, I shouldn't be home. I know you're confused. I'm confused too. What you said to me last week hurt me a lot, but it opened my eyes. Hopefully this opened your eyes too. Our relationship isn't healthy. It never was. I'm leaving Brighton this morning. You're in the warehouse with Jack and the others as I'm writing this. By the time you're reading this, I'll already be in Hurricane. I know you're busy today doing Jack a favor. Something related to a school party I can't remember. But please go there when you have a chance. As for me, I'll try to build my own life while I still can. You should do that too. I love you. Goodbye, Linda. It seemed like Felix had a bit of a drinking problem. So much so that it drove his wife away from him because of his drinking problem. Felix, seem to have a bit of a problem here. I have nothing to say to you. But what does Felix's drinking problem have to do with the whole story? Well, maybe playing Boozoo's game could help us figure that out. And so, Sophie continued on to play Boozoo's level. Sophie has to help Boozoo with Lily's birthday party. And so by helping him, we had to play a bunch of mini-games in order to set up Lily's birthday party. That seemed right. Sophie is transported to a dark room with a birthday cake, where she meets a disfigured person trying to communicate with her. And she's confused, wondering if this person seems familiar to her. But before she could answer that question, we cut to one of the mini-games. Boozoo has in store for us. Match the same image together to win the disfigured face again. The game glitch as we are taken to another mini-game, where this time we have to find the difference between these images. And the last one is a man named Charles Brooks, who went missing on July 7th, 1974. We don't know much about Charles as of now, but he is confirmed to be the third person to go missing. Susan and Jack. One jump scare and a few bombs later, we move on to the next level, where Sophie is questioning the things she saw, like the people as her memories start jogging back.
This is kind of starting to make more sense to me. I mean, as much sense as something like this can make. These are all faces of people that I think I knew when I was younger. I knew these people, and for some reason my brain just forgot about them, or what happened to them. I doubt they're alive anymore. I mean, maybe they are, but it's unlikely because I would have heard from them by now. And this game really tries to make it seem like these people died. Not in very pleasant ways either. I really don't want to think about it anymore, but Jesus.
She clicked on Shaw and start her level, which is the hide-and-seek game. As Shaw is done with all of her tasks and now wants to play a game with ya. As Sophie is looking for Shaw, we can see two graves on the right, and the white bear on the left. Who has been in the game watching us this entire time. Every time Sophie enters a place, the gravesite keeps changing from the gray rabbit to the two good children standing there. Eventually we find Shaw in the chicken pen, and then the roles are switched to where Shaw had to find us now. She quickly finds out too.
still beautiful to you? Sophie.
I know you.
Found you.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Sophie is finally face to face with a white bear called Show Bear. As Show Bear came from the well, asking what type of memories Sophie would like to remember, Sophie tried asking the person who they were, but no response. But when Sophie asked about the two red kids, she got an answer, being shown her old house before seeing a phone call between Jack and Felix, talking about Ed and Molly as Jack asked Felix to take them both to the school party that night. Felix hesitantly agrees. Sophie finally gets to see her siblings, both Ed and Molly, who are getting ready before their uncle picked them up for the party. Soon, Sophie was able to look around the school while she followed Rocket before becoming Ed and Molly themselves who found Rocket. But now they need to look for Felix. The kids look around the school until they both found him in the drinking zone. This doesn't look good. The kids questioned Felix's state of mind, but he assured the kids he's fine and dragged them both home. I think you know what's about to happen.
On a cue. 30 minutes of non-stop rock. Turn it up. You come on like a dream.
How much is left till we get home?
Not much. Just kind of lost, I think.
Uncle Felix, were you drinking?
M-Y-Q.
Our teacher says drinking is not good.
No, I'm just feeling dizzy. It's not that big of a deal, alright?
Number 8531. Flowers 5224343. I got a zap coming up. Rolling. Go.
I want to go home.
Molly, we're almost there.
Don't you think you're driving too fast?
Listen, I'm just trying to get you to home quickly, alright?
Zap coming right now. Angel 10 for safety.
Look, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling too good right now. I really I just want to lay in the bed and go to sleep.
Air conditioner.
It's alright. We get that today wasn't the best for you. We understand. Everything is gonna be okay.
Thanks, Molly.
That night, Jack tried to call Felix, but never received a call back.
Felix, pick up the phone. Now, I need you to pick up the phone. It's been 3 hours since I told you to get Ed and Molly home. What happened to my children? If anything happened, Felix, you must tell me. You haven't told me in 3 hours. I need to know what's going on. I'm trying to call you all night. What the hell is wrong with you? I've been trying to come back here all night. I've been calling everyone for you. But what the hell is wrong with you? 3 hours you didn't call. I asked you to do one simple favor for me. I need to know, where are they? Where did you...
Felix became a broken man after the death of Ed and Molly. His action caused the death of 2 innocent children and caused so many chaos in others. But that wasn't the only memory Sophie needed to remember.
Show Bear tells Sophie that there is one more memory that she needed to remember, and we see Sophie character standing in the room with Shaw, Buzu, and Bandy. Suddenly, the real Bond showed up, who've been watching us this entire time. Throughout Bunny Farm, you could see Bond standing in the background of the game every time, just watching you, waiting for the moment to strike. Now, I haven't heard people talk about this scene as it just is put in the back burner in a lot of video talking about the Walten Files. But what I think about this scene is that Sophie is a survivor of a Bond attack. Dave isn't the only one. And we see 2 faces of 2 kids. I believe that Sophie was saved by Ed and Molly. And to explain this even more, let's move on to the 4th episode of the series. Wait a minute, I forgot Guilty. Guilty is a secret video, much like Lucky You, that goes into the depths about Felix. It shows him talking about the first day BSI opened, then talked about the holiday break, which he let slip the part of where he addresses only himself, about how far BSI had come before correcting himself, which really show how much Felix is a narcissistic alcoholic jerk. Then the next one is all about May 2nd, 1974, day of the car crash.
Alright, it's... yeah. Messed up. It's been so long since I last used one of these. Last time I used this, I was driving. In the same conditions. I messed up. I have a problem. And this has been a problem for so long that I can't even remember. The first time I got drunk, I don't remember most stuff. That's probably why I carry this recorder with me. So, that's probably why I'm recording this in the first place. Because I know I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll think this was all just a nightmare. That Ed and Molly are okay. But they're mad. They're not. They were just children. Jack. Oh God, what am I gonna tell Jack? He would be devastated. That's why I buried him. Just the idea of Jack seeing what happened to him. Jack's been the best friend I've ever had. I'd never do that to him. That's when the accident occurred. I just panicked and I buried him in the forest. St. Juana's forest, the forest next to the road. The road in which the accident occurred. I can't remember where I buried him. So fuck. What am I gonna do now? The restaurant's gonna open next month. Sorry. Be fine.
While I may still be very angry at Felix for what he had done, the moment here showcased how much of a problem he had with alcohol and how he felt bad about the things he had done. But also we get to see Felix calming himself down and telling himself everything will be fine. Him telling himself everything is fine while he had just killed 2 innocent children. Him believing that all of this was just a nightmare and wanted to wake up from it, knowing damn well he murdered 2 innocent children, 2 of which he knew very well, but still drove them home in the condition that he was in. Him! This part generally really made me mad at Felix, and all sympathy that I had toward him all fleed away after that. Felix is a coward. He doesn't take responsibility for his own action and cause chaos in other people's lives. No wonder it was all his fault. But we can see more of Felix's mental downfall in the next episode. But before we get to episode 4, let's talk about my link tree. Now, why am I talking about my link tree again, even though I've already talked about it in the video? Because this video is already too long, and so I figured I'll remind you guys to check out my link tree, which is a link to all of my social media, like my Instagram and my gaming channel. You can find my link tree in the description below or in the YouTube channel banner. Thank you again for watching and listening to me talk for God knows how long. And let's get back to the video. Walten File 4 Cyber Fun Tech is the next episode that I'll be talking about for this video. So the video starts off like normal Walten File video with balloon. Wait, what? We get to see all type of colors of balloon like purple, red, gray. Then we are teleported to a school and suddenly 2 children appear from the darkness. No, I don't think that can make it in. This must be the spring party event from the last episode. This is where Ed and Molly are looking for Felix at the adult zone. Soon the kids are walking toward the light, symbolizing the death at the hand of Felix. Then we cut to a field? Then normal Walten File stuff happened, like the BSI logo, a glimpse of what the animatronic does, and the logo of Cyber Fun Tech, which kind of gives me My Little Pony vibe for some reason. Then we phase forward to the present of the series, not in real life. Just wanted to clear up a few things up. Don't think Cyber Fun Tech logo appears again before showing a letter from someone named Charles Brooks, and it reads the following. Just got hired officially at the computer supervisor for Unnamed Bunny Smile Restaurant. Though I've been coming up with a few names myself, I've known these guys for a while. The family, I've done some work with them, along with Susan for years now. Even before Cyber Fun Tech, getting to meet the Walten and the Crankins have been super fun. So excited to get to work. The future is bright. CB. And that we get to see the showstopper in action and And the first showstopper to sing is Buzu, who sounds like his voice box got shut off. And Benny sounds high for some reason. Shaw get cut off halfway through hers, and Bond get... Wait, man! There's so much stuff thrown at us all at once. Maybe TVA can help us out. Where we learn that Rosemary Walten, loving wife of, was the head artist of the BSI, which makes this line from the 3rd episode makes even more sense. Now it's time for Susan Wooding, everybody. Let's hope she get a break this time. Susan started talking about the animatronic when this happened, and this is one of the most disturbing things I have ever seen. Hold up, but there's some text at the background and upside down. But if you take it into an art program and edit the image, the text reads this. Mr. Crankin, this is Norman. I'm sending you this letter on behalf of our deal between Bunny Smiles and Cyber Fun Tech, and most importantly, the well-being of our Cyber Fun staff. We've been getting a lot of complaint about members of our staff going missing who was highly associated with you and your team. Susan Woodings has been missing for a week now, and here in Cyber Fun Tech, we are working as hard as we can to try and manage to get in contact with her. Is there perhaps any detail you could let us to help locate our missing employee? I'm going to be entirely honest with you, Mr. Crankin, and tell you I have a ton of questions and suspicion about whatever is going on with your company. Whatever it is, it's making both your company and mine look bad to the public light. So, again, if there's anything that could help us find Susan, write us back immediately. So it seemed like the partner company Cyber Fun Tech doesn't trust Felix himself, and I wonder how he hasn't been arrested yet for his crimes. Did he somehow manage to bribe the police chief? Who knows? But what we do know is that Susan talked more about the robot, and we even get to see the layout of the test that went on with the robot themselves. Now we finally made it to the part of the video where we get to see Charles and Susan testing out the animatronic. The test is to see if the robot can get around tables without bumping into any of them, but because they're using Vanny, the idiot showstopper, would have bumped into a table. On a side note, I really love how Susan and Charles talk to each other. They sound just like how normal coworkers would speak to each other. It's so sweet and just how a coworker who've known each other for a long time would talk to each other. Anyway, the next scene is Charles and Susan talking about Felix, who went out drinking again. This event took place before the crash. During this, Charles mentioned that Chris and Linda knew about the addiction, but Jack and Rose don't, which I'm not too sure about. I mean, there could be a slight chance that Jack and Rose wouldn't know about Felix's addiction, but I feel like Jack and Rose would have found out eventually, and eventually came at the cost of both of the children. Meanwhile, Charles and Susan are testing out the face recognition on the robot because it was mentioned that one of the animatronic, which could be Bond, couldn't recognize Sophie, but could recognize Ed and Molly, which could explain how Bond could have mistaken Brian for Sophie. The next scene takes place several days after the car crash, and Susan both found out what happened. And both Susan and Charles found out what happened to both Ed and Molly. Susan and Charles questioned Felix's story that was told, but are very uncomfortable when they both noticed Rocket in the same room with them, because Felix was hiding it from Jack and Rose. Not wanting any part of it, they both left the room, and a few seconds later, Rocket sprang to life as he walked toward Buzu, whose face recognition activated, and at first couldn't find anything until it noted the face of both Ed and Molly. Finally, the next scene is on June 30th, 1974. The first. The day that Susan disappeared from the world. A day that... Wait a minute. Who the heck are you? Okay, real talk here, this scene is very disturbing in many ways. Basically, they start off looking normal, And then it started getting creepier and creepier until the moment that, oh my goodness! The moment that Bond showed up to take the scene sold it. Susan didn't even get a chance to call out for help, and her death was done very messy. She didn't go out quick. It was a slow and painful death, and that's what makes the scene done very good because of the build-up. The moment it happened and the ending part where Bond looked over his deed like a pretty princess on a sunny day. Meanwhile, the next scene happened when Jack Walton is heading over to Felix's place, hoping to get some answer about what happened to his kids, but Felix never responds, because he has been at the burial site of both Ed and Molly, and the scene here is hit very hard, with Felix just staring at Rocket in the grave he dug for himself, to him moving to the edge of the cliff about to end his life for good. But he doesn't, because the only thing stopping him from doing so is his cowardness. The scene right here made me both hate and love Felix as an antagonist. But the next scene after that is just a self-pity party for Felix, and generally feeling bad about what he did. It's a great mix of thinking about himself and feeling guilty of the action he had done, but we know he won't change his ways, so throwing a self-pity party for himself ain't helping him. He also struggled to get rid of Rocket or return Rocket back to the Waltons. Felix also realizes he's being haunted by Ed and Molly, and I believe his guilt is coming back to bite him in the ass. Lastly, we get to see Bond shoving Susan in the Banning animatronic. Can we give Susan a break just for once? Suddenly, Rocket eyes change color to both Ed and Molly when...
I can hear you, Susan. I'm here.
Where are you? Please, where am I?
Don't you worry. You're in safe hands, Susan. Welcome to Wonderland. Your new home. Isn't it beautiful?
Am I
Dead? No. Not yet, at least. Your heart is still beating, but your body is now functionless. Out there, you're slowly suffocating, but here, you're safe. The spirit doesn't pass on quite as fast as the body does. I would know.
No. Oh, yeah.
Oh, where are my manners?
to meet you. My name is Bond, and you're Susan. I've had my eye on you. I know you very well, my friend. I know you like to fix things, isn't that right? Well, so do I. Wouldn't you like me to fix you?
What are you talking about?
Perhaps I could help you. Here, a gift. Take a look inside.
I don't understand.
That is the new you. A wonderful gift that will eventually become your new body. Just like a beautiful butterfly bursting from a cocoon. You will be reborn.
What does this mean?
You don't have to listen to me. That is up to you. But what other choice do you have? A spirit can't survive without being tethered to a vessel. I know you're scared. I was too. But everything will be okay.
I don't...
Apologies for what I had to do to you. But look, the hard part is over with now. Besides, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
So let's bring the end of episode 4, Cyberfun Tech. It's the end with Ed and Molly walking toward the light of the field. And to be honest here, the scene brought a tear to my eyes. So that is it. That's the end of the Walten Files so far, right? Of course not, you silly billies. We have one more video called Lacrimosa, which is Latin meaning tearful or weeping. And the video starts off with the police incident on the day that Ed and Molly both disappeared. The description of the video states this: May 4th, 1974, Brighton Police Report. Felix Archer, I think that's how you say it. Kraken reportedly arrived at the station in the morning on May 3rd. He had a broken pair of glasses, dirty blue pants, and a yellow dress shirt covered in dirt and blood. When I got the call, he was already taken into custody. We sat him down for a few hours, and he revealed valuable information about a case we were previously told about that same day by Mr. Jack Walton. Walton's two youngest kids, Ed and Molly, thought Walton had disappeared with Frank in the night prior. Felix's alibi stated he was unconscious after the car crash for about 20 minutes. When he woke up, the kids ran off. Felix came up with a fabricated story about what happened to Ed and Molly, which would explain how he was able to avoid arrest on that day. The next scene is all about TVA talking about the robotic tech before jumping to a scene where Bond is shoving Susan into Manny animatronic. Wait, what? Charles Burke is talking throughout the video, questioning where his friends went, but because he is concerned for Susan. We see some strange scenes before we finally end on Susan, now Benny, trying to find her way out. Just like that one scene from episode 2 a while back. The video ends with Susan getting caught by a headless Bond here, and that's it for now. That's all the Walten Files story so far. We're still waiting on episode 5 and 6 to be released later this year. This has been a long journey to get, but we finally have made it. Seeing the mascot horror series just focus on the people instead of the robot was the right decision for the series. But we get to learn what these people are going through and how they're handling it. But there are still some mysteries that aren't answered. Who's Bond? What really happened to Jack Walton? Who's the shadowy person? And what the true meaning of Lacrimosa, despite me believing it's just a representation of Susan's starving scene from episode 2.
When you think about it, the Walten File isn't a story about robots. It's a story of broken people, beautiful people, safety and pills. Sophie.
Mr. Van W. King sees the Sneak of Cairo. I will sing you a song, and it won't be very long, about a maiden sweet, and she never would do wrong. Everyone said she was pretty, she was not long in the city, all alone, oh what a pity, poor little maid. She never saw the streets of Cairo, on the midway she had never strayed, she never saw the cootie-cootie, poor little country maid. She was engaged as a picture for to pose, to appear each night in abbreviated clothes. All the dudes were in a flurry for to catch her.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, consider subscribing. And don't forget to leave a like and a comment. I'll catch you dragons in the next video. Goodbye for now.